Have you ever caught yourself laying awake at night, replaying the same mistake over and over, like a bad movie you never auditioned for, but somehow ended up starring in? You tell yourself to stop thinking about it, but moments later, there it is again, same scene, same feelings, same pit in your stomach. That's guilt. That's regret. And the tricky thing is, your mind convinces you that holding on to them is somehow noble, that by punishing yourself, you're proving that you've learned your lesson. But the truth, holding on to guilt doesn't protect you from repeating the past. It chains you to it, actually, and it doesn't give you much sleep either. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about in today's Mindful Monday. So if it is your first time joining us, feel free to type in the comments where you're coming from, if you have any questions or comments, or any topics you'd like to hear more about in the future. We love to hear about those as well. Also, make sure you stay till the end of this video so you can find out how to receive some free gifts, including a hypnotic recording on releasing limiting beliefs and our weekly PDF cheat sheets. Now today I'm going to show you how to break those chains using hypnosis and NLP to let go of guilt and regret once and for all, while keeping the wisdom that they gave you. So guilt and regret, they both live in the past, yet they're not exactly the same. Guilt is the emotional weight of believing that you did something wrong, or maybe you failed to do something correctly. Maybe you failed to do something you should have done. It's like a heavy stone in your pocket that you just carry with you everywhere. Now, regret is a thought pattern, and it's constant. It's a constant what-if loop. So it feels like an endless movie reel that's playing over and over that same moment. Except in your mind, you rewrite the scene to imagine the better outcome that you should have created, but did not, right? So from a neuroscience perspective, both of these emotions activate the anterior cingulate cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for detecting errors and mismatches. Now, every time you think of that moment, your brain treats it as if though it's happening right here and right now. Your heart rate changes, your stomach tightens, cortisol rises. So basically, you're torturing yourself. And here's the kicker. Your subconscious mind does not have a timestamp for emotional events. It doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. And so that means that an incident that occurred 10 years ago can still feel like it's happening in this exact second. You're literally reliving the stress over and over, which is not too helpful. That's why simply thinking positive or telling yourself it's in the past, it rarely works. The memory still has emotional hooks that are embedded within you. So the goal isn't to erase the memory, because we don't do memory erasing, that's not possible, but it's to pull out those hooks so that there's no feeling, that the negativity is gone. That way you keep the lesson, but you lose the sting. So in NLP, we know the meaning that you assign to an event is more important than the event itself is. So you change the meaning and you change the emotional impact. In hypnosis, we use the natural trance state to recode the emotional memory, thus changing the way your nervous system responds when that moment is recalled. Now, this isn't pretending that it didn't happen. It's reprogramming your subconscious mind so that when you do think about it, you feel calm, you feel clear, you might even feel some self-compassion towards yourself. So here's the process that I'm going to walk you through if you have time and you're in a safe place. The first thing we'll do is we'll allow the memory to surface without any resistance. And when you stop fighting it, you stop fueling it. The second thing we'll do is we'll separate the wisdom from the emotional charge. We want to keep the lesson, but release that self-punishment aspect. And then number 3 is we want to install a new perspective, replacing the emotional heaviness with self-understanding and a sense of closure, if you will. So when done correctly, the memory becomes just another moment in your life story, not that one that's going to define you and make you feel terrible all the time. So if it's safe for you to do so, I'm going to invite you now to just allow your eyes to close gently down for a few moments as we do this short demo. And then take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your shoulders drop down as if the air is taking with it just a little bit of the tension that you might have been carrying around. And then breathe in again, slow and steady, releasing each breath, creating a little more space inside. Now bring to mind a memory that you've been kind of holding on to. You don't have to pick your biggest, darkest, deepest one. And you don't have to dive into every single detail, just enough so that you know what moment we're working with. Now notice where in your body you feel it the most. Is it a heaviness in your chest or a knot in your stomach? It could be a weight between your shoulder blades. Just notice without any judgment. That's right. Now in your mind's eye, imagine yourself slowly rising up, as though you're floating a few feet above your own body. From here, you can see yourself back in that moment, but you are no longer inside it. You are the observer, safe, distant, and in control. So look at that version of you. Notice their posture, their facial expression, and understand deeply that they were doing the very best that they could do, with the knowledge, the emotional resources, and the awareness that they had in that very exact moment. Now, even if looking back now, you might do it differently, just imagine stepping forward toward that younger you and gently placing a hand on their shoulder, and in your mind say to them, I forgive you. You are human. You've learned and you're allowed to let this go now. And see them looking back at you, maybe with tears, maybe with relief, and feel that connection. Next time that memory itself has a color, a texture, an energy, perhaps it's dark or heavy and tangled. Now with every exhale, see that energy dissolving into a warm, soft light, pure, gentle, and healing. The light replaces the heaviness, and every breath spreads it further until the moment it is no longer charged with pain, only with understanding. Now go ahead and float forward in time and see yourself in the present, lighter, freer, and carrying the lesson but none of the weight. None of how you stand, how you breathe, how you move when that guilt is no longer a part of you. And lock that image into your mind like a photograph of the future you've already become. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to open up, bringing that lighter, freer feeling back with you now. What you've just done is quite powerful. You've moved from being inside that old experience to observing it, breaking the emotional loop your brain was trapped in. You've reframed the meaning so your nervous system is no longer flagging it as an error in progress. And through hypnotic suggestion, your subconscious mind updated the emotional coding, keeping the lesson yet releasing the punishment. And that's the beauty of hypnosis and NLP. We're not erasing your past. We're setting you free from being ruled by your past. Your past is not a prison. It's a classroom. And once the lesson is learned, class is dismissed. Releasing guilt and regret with hypnosis and NLP, keep the lesson and release the weight. Now, if you'd like a free recording and other good gifts, then please feel free to type or message me mindful in the comments and then follow the link. And if you'd like to work one-on-one to help rewire your mind even more, even deeper, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at unwindthemindllc@gmail.com or look up the website unwindthemind at unwindthemind.com, sorry. Until then, trust the process, train your mind, and just keep breathing into your power, knowing you've got this. I hope you've had a wonderful Mindful Monday and that this has been useful to you, and we look forward to seeing you next week.